Fellow Kenyans, I take this opportunity also to join you in mourning your leader. We are mourning and also celebrating the life of a great leader. As I had told you before, I informed you that he was well and kicking about, and he will soon be back to the country. That was not a lie, it was the truth. He was very well until last night. I spoke to him. He was vibrant, up and kicking. It is only unfortunate this morning that he suffered shock, which is suspected after the postmortem to be heart attack.
Raila Odinga is normal. So first, this video is gonna be different from my usual videos. I normally go very hard against these politicians, but I want to start by saying RIP to Raila Odinga and condolences to his family. Now, I did a video a month ago on Raila. I was super hard on him. Hata watu wengine wameniambia I should take down the video, but I'm gonna leave it. It's gonna be linked at the end of this if you want to watch it. It is my opinion, and it was my opinion at that time. It's still valid at that time. And you will see why I was super hard on Raila, because Raila, I believe, had a great legacy in the beginning, but then he always ruined his legacy by, you know, all these handshakes. I was never a supporter of them. I will never be a supporter of them. But in this video today, I want to look what happens to ODM now. What happens to ODM? What happens to Luo Nyanza? And I've started with Oburu Odinga because I want to focus on Odinga family and Luo Nyanza and ODM in this video. What happens next? Because life is for the living. Raila is normal, and I'm sure succession politics has already started. They might not say it in public, but it has already started. So Oburu Odinga, first of all, at the time of this recording, has been named ODM leader. I think he is gonna be, until they do like an election, yeye ndio atakuwa head of ODM. Oburu Odinga is 82 years. I do not see him taking over the reins yenye Raila alikuwa. Even if it was not, you know, his age, he is not as charismatic as Raila was. In the Odinga family, if it's not Oburu, can it be Raila's son? Raila's son also doesn't have the charisma. Yeah, Nani. Maybe if Fidel was still alive, Fidel would have taken over. He was the perfect person to take over. Now, the other option is Winnie Odinga, Raila's daughter. But we have to be honest, in Kenya and in Luo Nyanza, the fact that she is a woman, that will play negative to her. So I don't see her having the strength, you know, to take over ODM and Luo Nyanza leadership. But before we start all that succession, let's first see what will happen, what might happen, because ODM is in government, is in its blood-based, broad-based, bread-based, whatever you want to call this type of government with Ruto. And in Raila's own words, what was he saying about the future with Ruto? Okay, tuendelee na video tusikie Raila's own words, what he was thinking and what might happen.
The former premier expressed satisfaction with progress on the implementation of the UDA-ODM MOU, responding directly to those inside and outside his party, calling on him to walk away from the deal.
So I just want to say, the naysayers, give us space, give us room, give us, and judge us in 2027. We sacrifice so that there could be peace in this country. And that's the reason why we are here today. I do not regret what we did.
Odinga dropping yet another signal that he may be in for the whole hog, sticking to the arrangement including and post 2027.
Kurumu ya chura haizui ng'ombe kunywa maji. Ng'ombe itakunywa maji. we will be able to move beyond 2027. I'm confident we will move beyond 2027. Nobody should try to threaten us.
Okay, so that is Raila's own words. He was inside the government. I was about to say he was balls deep in the government, but that is very graphic and it's not respectful. But Raila was very, like, he was strong. Alikuwa ameamini he will be with Ruto 2027, even past 2027. Those were his wishes. As you can see, he was, amtatisha, he won't be threatened, he won't walk away. So I think what I believe is Raila was almost like a god to many Luo people. So what I think is 2027, the Luo nation will probably be split into two. There are some people who will follow Ruto because of emotions. They will believe that Ruto is the one who gave them a chance to be in government. Hata jana, there was a clip I was watching of people in Bondo as they were waiting for Raila's body. They were saying that they have to remain in this government as Raila wished. So that is already the feeling in the ground in Nyanza. They want to stay in the government with Ruto. So I believe half of Luos will be there with Ruto to the end, to 2027, because they believe he's the only one mwenye wamewakumbuka. And it was Raila's wishes, and Raila was like a god to many people. So they will be with Ruto. The other half will be, whoever runs against Ruto, as long as it is not Rigathi Gachagua. That one I can tell you for sure. This one I'm talking in terms of Luo Nyanza. Luo Nyanza does not like Rigathi Gachagua from what I have seen. And the fact that Rigathi was feuding with Raila, there is no way they would ever support Rigathi. But anyway, let's see now in terms of ODM, who might take over. My first thought is it might be Sifuna, because Sifuna is already the Secretary General of ODM. And he's super charismatic. People love Sifuna across the board. Whether you are, I don't know, whatever tribe you come from, most people like Sifuna. He's charismatic and he's very strong for many people. And ODM needs a strong leadership to take over. So my first thought is it might be Edwin Sifuna taking over. But let's see what Sifuna had to say just a few weeks ago.
And as Secretary General of ODM that is in an arrangement with this, and you as Secretary General disagreeing with the party position, what do you then do as a person?
You can just ask me why I won't resign, Yvonne. Don't be shy. You and me started this thing way back. I was telling you before we started, the first time I was on TV was with you. The reason I will not resign yet is because I've not given up yet. I have not given up on members of ODM, because ODM is a mass movement, Yvonne. ODM has a followership, a registered membership of over 5 million people.
Okay, so as you can see, already he was defending ODM and defending why, even though he opposes this blood-based, broad-based, bread-based government arrangement, he is still sticking with ODM. And I believe Sifuna really, really loved Raila. That I honestly believe. I believe that he used to take all the directions from Raila. I also believe that Raila was kind of like a dictator, because in ODM, in terms of ODM, he would dictate who stays and who goes, because immediately after this interview walikuwa wanataka kutoa Sifuna, watu wa ODM, but Raila saved him. There was a time watu wa ODM walikuwa wanataka kutoa Esther Passaris. Raila saved her. Then a few weeks ago, watu walikuwa wanataka kutoa MCAs, walikuwa wanataka kutoa Sakaja. We'll also cover Sakaja in this video. And Raila saved Sakaja. So Raila made very, very bad moves. Kama hizo za Sakaja joining the government. towards the end of his life, he really ruined his legacy. That is my opinion. So msikasirike sana kwa comments, but that is what I think. He really ruined his, vile alikuwa anasema alikuwa mweupe kama pamba, but he really ruined it towards the end. But tusikize Sifuna, who I believe might be the future of ODM. He might be opposed because, he's very, kind of strong, but I think there's a good chance if he might take over leadership, ODM might survive. But tuendele na answer ya Sifuna.
And when you speak to a majority of those people, there is still belief and trust within the ranks of the party that Baba knows what is right for the people, that he will do the right thing, and that the vast majority of the members of the party believe in themselves and in their ability to pull this train back on its tracks. You will listen to what we in Parliament say, but ODM has a total complement of about 106 elected members of Parliament. Compare that to the 5 million in the grassroots there who have given support to this political party for years. Secondly, many of us, like I personally, speaking as Sifuna, I have known one political leader all my life. I tell the story of how I became interested in politics in 2002. I was at the university. We were the kids who were singing Yote Yawezekana Bila Moi. I have not listened to another political leader, including those ones who ran around from Ushago. I have listened to Raila Odinga all these years.
Okay, so as you can see, he says all his political career he's been listening to Raila Odinga, but now Raila Odinga is no more. So now I think he might either choose to leave ODM, or if he does not take over, he might leave ODM. But it's gonna be a chaotic season in Kenyan politics with Raila Vlametoka. I know for many people, Raila was either a good guy. For other people, he was the devil. I know in central Kenya, Raila Odinga was the devil himself. And I know for other people, he was like a god. But now, if Sifuna takes over ODM, believe me, Luo Nyanza will follow Sifuna. That is what I think. They will follow him because ODM is party at Raila. Sifuna was a student at Raila. And, so let's see. Aside from Sifuna, who I think might now lead Luo Nyanza. He is also very strong. He is also very charismatic to some people. And for other people, he is a rogue criminal. Let's go to the next potential candidate, Babu Owino.
I want to tell you that I know that Sakaja will be given the ticket for ODM. Mm-hmm. And I know how much I'm hated in our own house. But that will not prevent me from chasing my dreams. That will not prevent me from being a leader. Because I know leadership comes from God, and it is the people who line up to elect their leader. The ticket might go, but our ticket is in the hands of God. Mm-hmm. God has our ticket. Mm-hmm. God.
Okay, so as usual, he went to the God route because Kenyan politicians, we like that a lot. God this, God that. But Babu was already having issues because he wants to run governor ya Nairobi. But Raila, once again, for some reason, chose Sakaja, mtu wa dimples, thief, mtu wa goons, anatuma goons, anamwaga takataka, Kenya Power, like a complete incompetent moron, Neanderthal moron, anaitwa mtu wa dimples, Sakaja, was the guy that Raila looked, aliangalia left, right, akasema, oh, Sakaja is the one. He's the one to shape the future of Nairobi. Sakaja is the golden boy. Sakaja and we will support Sakaja. So in this interview, Babu was here. He was telling us he knows atapata nini your ticket ya ODM. So he already knew. But that was when Raila was alive. Now Raila is not with us anymore. I think he might still now, Babu, I'm speaking of Babu, Babu might be given the ticket because things are going to be crazy right now. Hakuna hiyo kuwa protected anymore. Unajua kuna watu walikuwa na hang on to Raila too for protection. And that one of them is Sakaja. He was just hanging on for protection. Ruto, I don't think is really that naive. Naona watu wengi wanasema now one term is guaranteed. Ruto, one term is guaranteed. But I don't think Ruto is that way. Ruto, first of all, does not respect democracy. Hiyo ndio kitu watu waelewi. People think that if you just go and vote, watu wengi hapo hivyo, Ruto atatoka tu hapo because he respects democracy. The same Ruto wa ICC. Ruto can decide now that Raila is not here anymore, Luo Nyanza will be split half, so my votes are not guaranteed. I am going to steal the election. Yote. He can just decide that. That is how cruel and evil William Ruto is. So I will not count Ruto out. It is no guarantee now that Raila is not there. There is no guarantee. Msianze kucelebrate hapo hivyo mnafikiri ati Ruto is gone. No. But this is not about Ruto. Today we are focusing on ODM, Luo Nyanza, Babu Owino. Babu Owino has the backing, watu wengi support him, so he has the potential ya kutake over, kukuwa leader wa Luo Nyanza because he is also young. The other remaining leaders wa Luo Nyanza are like Orengo. We're going to look at Orengo. There is Lupita's dad, anaitwaje? Oh, Anyang' Nyong'o. There's Anyang' Nyong'o. There is Orengo. And those leaders are already old. There's Oburu Odinga. Oburu Odinga is 82 years. So there is only looking for young leadership, most likely will take over ODM. So Babu, I think Babu might have a good chance wa take over in terms of Nyanza yote, Luo Nyanza yote. Because, you know, he's still young. He has the popularity. Yes, kama huyu, this new guy, yu wa kizungu mingi wa Afro, anaitwaje Mac whatever. I forgot his name. He became famous during time ya protest. This young guy wanaongea kizungu mingi kama PLO Lumumba, wanaongea kizungu mingi. Young guy he joined ODM, and then people say that amewasaliti. You know who I'm talking about. I forgot his name. That guy, I don't see him taking over. Babu has a good chance despite your issues zake na DJ Evolve, the goons and everything. Babu has a good chance of taking over the Nyanza leadership itself as a whole. Now, because the topic here was also, he was speaking on Sakaja being given the golden ticket, let's look at a wild card. Wild card, unajua napendanga wild cards. Wild card ni ule mtu mwenye you least expect to be leading a movement, but he might be come out of nowhere to be leading a movement. So let's look at the wildest card. That is the one and only Miguna. And we use one of Miguna's same topic on Sakaja. Hebu tuende kwa Miguna.
Sakaja is not just a joke, he's a criminal. Sakaja is orchestrating the worst governance disaster in the Republic of Kenya. He is the worst performing governor. Nairobi now is being looted. Imagine Sakaja loots more than Sonko and Kidero combined.
Manzi, Miguna huwa ananibamba sana. Miguna is on another level. Miguna does not give a fuck. He does not give two facts about whatever anybody thinks about him. He will say whatever happens. He does not care whether he's being assaulted or whatever. He will speak his mind. So he is my wild card that he can also be a potential player in Luo leadership. The only issue na Miguna is alikosana na Raila. And like I mentioned before, Raila is a big was almost like a god in Nyanza. If you were to say anything bad on Raila, hata watu wangekudedisha hapo hivyo. So Raila was a very, very big god-like feature in Nyanza, but Miguna vile alienda against him, now he might have a problem in Nyanza. In Nairobi, maybe he can be getting support because, he might come back, start in Nairobi, hizo mambo za governorship and stuff. But in Nyanza, it's kind of a long shot. That's why I'm calling him the wild card. But tuendele tusikie speech ya Miguna, because Miguna, you can't give him just 30 seconds kuongea. Mpatie at least at least 2 minutes. So tuone another minute ya Miguna akitandika Sakaja, and then we go to see what happened with Sakaja. Okay, Miguna, tuendele.
It's bad. That's how bad it is. Nairobi is very disorganized. Nairobi is dirty, completely filthy. Kidero was a thief, but Sakaja is stealing more than Kidero. Kidero had a system. Even the revenue collection, you knew who was collecting revenue in Nairobi. Right now, the MCS do not even know the revenue collector because he does it himself. He, according to lawyers who are themselves not clean, Donald Kipkorir and the rest, are saying they get calls to pay them billions so that these guys can get a cut of 50%. So it's that bad. You saw the EACC has arrested a number of his officers that he's been using to steal public funds. There are cases currently before the DPP. They have already left the DCI. The DCI wants Sakaja charged, and we are just waiting. He could be charged any day.
Okay, so so as you can see, Miguna hates Sakaja. Miguna is a guy with two names. He's a character on his own. Miguna is something else. So he is my wild shot. Already I've covered, I think, okay. To our ODM, I think that can take over is Sifuna, and then I've covered also, Babu Owino, and now Miguna wild shot. I know it's quite a long shot, but Miguna is also a possibility. In my mind, I'm just saying it. But tuendele tuone Sakaja. What of Sakaja? We are just going to deviate 1 second to one Sakaja. What will happen to Sakaja now that Raila is not protecting him? So to rewind to what happened a while back with Sakaja.
After day-long consultations chaired separately by President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga, the Nairobi MCAs have dropped the impeachment motion against Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja.
Tumeongea na watu wamezungumza na MCAs wametoa mambo yao na yamesikizwa, na vile pia leadership wametoa mambo yao ikasikizwa. Kwa hivyo kwa kauli moja tumekubaliana kwamba hiyo pending impeachment yairishwe na itolewe.
Okay, so this time Sakaja was being impeached, and for some reason Raila decided to save him. Raila and Ruto. Sakaja is one of the most incompetent leaders. He makes Sonko look like a rocket scientist. He makes Sonko look like a genius when compared to what he does, because yeye anamwaga takataka, anaiba, he does all these things. He's a terrible leader, but for some reason Raila handpicked him and chose him that he's the one who should be leading Nairobi. So now that Raila is no more, I am like 100% sure Sakaja is done. Sakaja is a one-term governor. It's over and done with. So for him, it's over for him. So I think what he will do now until atoke ofisi, the looting is gonna be on steroids. Atakuwa ana loot double the amount now, because he wants life-changing money, life-changing wealth. Ile primitive looting yenye unachukua kila kitu yenye unaeza, because you will probably never become coming back to leadership again. So I think up to 2027 from now that Raila is not there to protect him and give him the golden ticket ya ODM, Sakaja will be looting and looting and looting. That is just my opinion. In terms of Ruto, I've already told you, I don't think Ruto will just go, Ruto ni ngumu because he can just decide to steal by force. He can decide to steal by force. Watu waende kama Madagascar or whatever yenye president anahepa. He does not care about democracy. Ruto is a criminal, thug, thief, murderer. So Ruto is quite hard. Yes, Sakaja is easy. Sakaja is done for. That is what I think. So let's look at some other leaders who are less charismatic but might also take over leadership here, Luo Nyanza, because if there is no leader for Luo Nyanza, it's going to be quite difficult for them. So let's go to another potential leader, Luo Nyanza, but he is older now. So I doubt it. I'm only seeing two people. If you ask me to be honest, I just see either Sifuna or, Babu. But let's look at Orengo. Just for, because he's been there for years and years. So let's just look at Orengo. He is a possibility also.
Words fail me to express the shock, the deep sorrow, and immeasurable grief at the news of the untimely passing of my brother, my friend, my party leader, a statesman, and a towering figure of Kenya's second liberation.
Yeah, I think Orengo, he's, well, first I'm going to say something. I know it's going to sound very bad, but it's my honest opinion. I am kind of relieved, maybe relieved is not the correct word, but saizi, I think that the fact that Raila passed away, natural demise, heart attack, I think that is better than if something were to happen to him. Because there was a time, so many times people tried to get rid of Raila. People tried to, delete him by, assassination and many, many things. Hata nakumbuka this guy, huyu jamaa wa circumcision anaitangwa aje. There is this guy who's normally obsessed with circumcision. I forgot his name. There's a guy obsessed with circumcision. You probably know who I'm talking about. There was a time he was saying, wamalize Raila too. Why can't I remember his name? He's the guy who's now, he tries to compete against Rigathi Gachagua, but he cannot. I forgot his name. If you remember his name, let me know in the comments. Also, kwa comments niambie, who do you think will take over Luo Nyanza? But my point is, the fact that Raila died a natural death, I think that it's a relief for Kenya itself, because if something were to happen to Raila, if either he was assassinated or something like that, Kenya would be burning right now. But the fact that it was a natural death, I think that will calm the nation a little. So Orengo has been fighting Raila also for some time. Plus, Orengo is older. He has health issues. Another one, also at the bottom of the list, is the dad wa Lupita. Anyang' Nyong'o. Yeah, Anyang' Nyong'o.
In our case, for example, the UDA government found that the problems facing it, that it needed the opposition to support, to help it. So our president and our leader our Right Honorable Raila Odinga, the leader of the ODM, came together and discussed what needed to be done. And they agreed on a few points where they can collaborate to stabilize the country, to ensure that the country delivers service to the people without conflict.
Okay, so that is Anyang' Nyong'o. He was supporting also this blood-based, bread-based, whatever-based government, Ruto and Raila. He was supporting it. And now that Raila is no more, he is also in the consideration, leadership, Luo Nyanza. But the fact that he's also old and he has also a lot of health issues, that one is kind of, will affect it. That's why in my list I see him and Orengo not very much possibility. I think even Miguna Miguna has a better chance, even though Miguna Miguna alikosana na Raila. I think Miguna Miguna has a better chance. That's why I put Miguna Miguna before them. But in my honest opinion, I think it's either gonna be either Sifuna taking over leadership and ODM, even though it's not, a Luo. I know ODM is like mostly Luo party, but the Luos will support Sifuna regardless. And what's the other guy's name? Babu Owino is the one most likely to be leading the Luo nation in the near future. That is according to me. As for the Odinga family, I think Odinga family is done for a while, until maybe somebody decides later on to join politics, because Raila's son, I don't think he has the charisma. Maybe he can, because, even Raila took over from his father, but Raila had charisma. So Raila's son, maybe, but I don't think so. Winnie Odinga, Raila's daughter, the fact that she's a woman, I know people don't like to face that reality, but that will play a role, especially in Luo Nyanza. So the Odinga family, I think, honest opinion, it is done. So niambie kwa comments, what do you think will happen? Who do you think will take over ODM leadership? And who do you think, or what do you think will happen to Luo Nyanza leadership? Will it be Babu Owino? Will it be somebody else coming out of nowhere to be leading the Luos? Or the Luos are gonna be in the cold for the next several elections? Ebu niambie kwa comments. Next week we are coming back to my usual type of videos. I'm gonna be, dropping a video ya Elachi very soon. I'll be dropping a video ya Karen Nyamu very soon. So if you like this type of videos, please consider liking, subscribing. Hii channel ni mpya. Tutaonana next time.